Hi, you guys. I have kind of an interesting read here, and I'll tell you how this started. I do this thing called muscle testing. If you want to look it up, or maybe people already know. It's sort of like you can either do it like in meditation, or for me, it works if when I'm like taking a walk, and you just get in that sort of meditative state, and you just feel like connected. And it's sort of like you can ask yes or no questions. And for me, and you find a way for like spirit to sort of give an answer in your body. Like for me, I just sort of let myself relax, and if it's a yes answer, then my head will nod ever so slightly yes. If the answer is no, then I'll feel it, my head, sort of in a shaking in a no answer. And if it's sort of in between, I have my, way of getting that. Or if there's like no energy, it's similar to like the pendulum, getting answers in that way. And so it was just sort of asking all these questions, and and you sort of wait and see what your body tells you the answer is, as opposed to, obviously you try to relax and let it come to you. It might be called, I don't know if it's called like spiritual or psychic muscle testing. I don't know if there's a different type of muscle testing that's more about exercise or something. But anyway, so I was doing that, and I was asking all these questions, and I got something really interesting. This is just like my guidance and my answers. And things can like change from now until the election and all that. Things are, yeah, I mean, and I see that a lot in this read too. I asked and got that like Trump won't be in the 2020 election. And then so I said, so Pence will be the one, and I got no, Pence won't be there either. He's not going to be the guy. Which really surprised me. And I had always, for some reason, I got in my head Nikki Haley. So I said, so is Nikki Haley going to be the Republican candidate? Nope, no Nikki Haley. And I was just like, who? And I kept going through people. And then I said Paul Ryan, and I got a yes for Paul Ryan. And don't get me wrong, I'm not excited for Paul Ryan. I don't like Paul Ryan. I think he's just another smug, fake Republican with those kinds of values. That's not what I think, what I want for this country, or what I think we need for this country, or anything like that. But I just found it really interesting, and suddenly I have to say, it makes sense. I sort of got like that those who are considering this think he would have a better chance against Biden, this young guy. And don't worry, I don't think he would or will beat Biden, or any Democrat that's running, because I think that the Republicans are in big trouble. And so I thought, that's really weird. And I sort of got in my head, so they're thinking about Paul Ryan. And I'm like, okay, I get that. That makes sense. I decided to look on social media, because I thought if they really are considering Paul Ryan, then there's going to be something on social media, like, certain Republicans sort of putting him out there. Anyway, I saw that he did a sort of like at-home video conference, or sort of Zoom like sort of talk thing. I didn't watch it. I just saw, okay, he did do something recently, like in the past week, his opinions on the coronavirus and how things are going, and we need to get back to work. Of course, that's the Republican way. But so I was like, okay. But then something else I noticed that I found very interesting were like these Trump bots, okay? Like the bots, like the Russian Trumpy bots, the MAGA bots, are like, for some reason, attacking Paul Ryan and saying that he tried, like, suddenly. I'm like, oh my God, Trump knows this too. Like, Trump has gotten the inside scoop, or whoever does Trump's social media. So they're trying to bash Paul Ryan. And I don't know if any of this is true, but I just found that interesting that they're suddenly trying to bash Paul Ryan, and act like the little MAGA like conspiracy theory story being that Paul Ryan tried to do a coup and take out Trump. And I thought, well, that would be smart too, if he is hearing that Paul Ryan is being considered, and it makes him mad, Trump, or Trump's people, that they would immediately try to ruin that idea and that plan, so that, like, Republicans know they're stuck with Trump, because Trump has this power through his bots to like create stories. Oh, and then Hannity and Matt Gates. Matt Gates, I think that's how you say it, was on Hannity the other night, and they like also went off on Paul Ryan. So it's like the inner Trump circle is like trying to make sure that the MAGA, base will not think positively of Paul Ryan. It's almost like they're trying to like ruin this, whatever this insider plan would be. So anyway, I decided I wanted to look at the cards and see what the cards have to say. And I thought it was kind of interesting. What I got is these two cards first. I mean, and I'm like, okay, this 5 of Cups covered by the Death card. And it's like Trump's poll numbers, right? Or, well, I would think Trump's poll numbers were even worse than what we see. I don't know if that's being like, I don't know why it's not worse, but I do think it is going out. It's not looking good. This is like loss. And weirdly, it's like there's blood spilled. I mean, in these cards, it does look like blood. And then with death, the death tolls. It's like there has to be Republicans thinking like this guy really might. And we've got stuff. He's got stuff going on with the courts. Like they must have a backup plan. So, and it's because of this stuff, because it's just like, it's a disaster. It's a mess. And now on top of everything, the American death toll and how badly Trump handled the virus and everything, it's like, okay, so that's the heart of the matter, is that like things are not looking good for the Republicans. This 9 of Swords, this is like just like anxiety. I mean, this is what's at the surface. It's just like, yeah, I think that Republicans are nervous as hell. I think that they are nervous, they're scared, their hands are tied. They sort of have to wait this out, I guess. But yeah, a lot of them are not happy, and they're just like, great, we're getting closer and closer to this election. And he could just, who knows what's going to happen and how bad it's going to get, how bad he's going to look, how many more things are going to come out. So there's a lot of that anxiety on the surface. And then at the base, this Page of Pentacles. I do think that's Paul Ryan there. I mean, it kind of looks like him. And then, but also just the new idea, the new, like the backup plan, the plan beneath the surface to sort of help appease this anxiety would be to come up with a new idea, a new person. So I think that we have Paul Ryan there. And then we've got King of Pentacles on the way out. And I see this as Republican unification, this 10 of Cups. Again, not that I want, this unified thing, but I think what I see here is they are tired of, okay, they can't control Trump. He's not a team player. And they want him, they don't like that. There's a Republican agenda. They are getting a lot by because Trump is distracting everyone and they're getting a lot through, but they would like someone who's a team player. And not someone I don't think they do like that what he's doing with financials or that he's making money for himself. I mean, it is disgusting to watch. And I think they do find it like tasteless and bad. They want a team player. So that's what I see coming in if they go with, if Trump does somehow disappear from the scene, that's what their plan is. I see here, okay, so this is basically inaction. So basically they're not doing anything toward this. I think it's just sort of sitting there in case they need it. And here, then we have a Wheel of Fortune. So we have that 4 of Swords, kind of like, well, we have it there sitting in the Wheel of Fortune. Let's see what happens. So, so that's interesting. And it is funny, you see like on this Wheel of Fortune in particular, this guy's sort of falling off and then someone else is coming up. So, I do think, Trump is on a downward spiral. And so, yeah, so that's interesting. The hopes and fears, they hope that he will leave voluntarily. I think that's what this card is saying, because there's a lot of cards here they would hope for, and the thing they would hope for is that he leaves voluntarily, and that's what this card is. as opposed to any other way, because they don't want the base to hate them. They want it to be a nice, like, I've decided to step away for this and that reason. And God bless the GOP. Yeah, I'm sure he's going to do that, but that's what they would like. And then Page of Swords, final outcome. This is like the new idea, so that's interesting. And then at the base, at that point, was a Queen of Swords. I believe what I'm seeing here is Plan B. So at the base of all of this is they just want to be sure they have a Plan B, and that's that Queen of Swords. And then I got a couple clarifiers on this. And I got Ace of Rods and Justice. So, like, if need be, they will bring in the newbie, the Paul Ryan, the new idea that they have. They'll try to bring in new passion in this direction. And then Justice, which I thought was interesting. What did I conclude on this Justice card? I wonder if this has to do with the justices that are deciding what to do with his taxes, that they think, if that comes out, he might step away and will step in. Oh, and I think they'll try to sort of play themselves off as the more just, back to the just like Republican Party, although I think it's always sort of, put on a pretty face, or not really, but, like, I don't think they've been like the party of justice. But so the new idea, the new passion. And I think in a way the people who are thinking about this thinks that would be justice ultimately, that they kind of want, I think that they want it. They want him gone. They don't like him. They can't control him. He is acting like a king. And that this would feel like good for them, they think, as long as it would go smoothly, which of course it wouldn't. And then at the base, at that point, I get the Tower card. So that's a pretty powerful, strong card, especially for this read. Maybe ultimately, you can't help but think of Trump when you see the Tower. They're preparing for if this thing crashes and burns, this Trump situation. We have our Plan B, and but this would also be the GOP. I think people are just going to be jumping ship. Like, people are really going to be fed up with the Republican Party and jumping ship. And I also did a little with my pendulum afterwards. What I did get was that no, Paul Ryan will not beat Joe Biden, or Paul Ryan won't be whoever is. Yeah, I think it'll be Joe Biden, but whoever's there, no, he's not going to win. So anyway, not much of a message in this, except just sort of a fun, like, just sort of something I wanted to explore and share. And also, I do think that's positive if there is a group that are really considering this. That really tells us that Trump is weakening in a lot of ways. And the fact that they're going, I thought it was really weird that the MAGA bots are going after Paul Ryan. Because that says that might be true. And that Paul Ryan is trying to get himself out there and do these like videos for the people. That might really be something that's brewing beneath the surface. And like, no matter what, it would be really good to get rid of Trump. And I'm also glad I got the answer that Ryan would not win. But wouldn't it just be nice to think that this could be, that Trump could be leaving soon, and the madness that he brings to this country. So anyway, that's my read. I hope you found that interesting as well, and thanks for being there for me to share it with. And I always love your comments. Let me know if you had any thoughts down below, and otherwise I will talk to you guys next time. Thanks so much. Bye.